Let's talk expectations for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in 2025. Connor, how's it going, man?
Doing good, man. Starting to get back to my ways. Not 100% yet, but we're getting close.
Yeah, it's flu season. A lot of people are dealing with it. The team even had it. I think that was before the Penn State game, so it's going around. But happy to have you back, feeling better.
hmm
Today's episode is going to be all about expectations for 2025. With so many different changes that the team is going through this offseason, we need to kind of break down what we think the expectations are. Maybe some that are reasonable, maybe some that are shooting high for kind of what 2025 might bring. But let's just kind of go over expectations for the year.
Yeah, sounds good.
Offensively, I think we got to focus on ramping it up. One thing that we were talking about before we hopped on here, O-line and running back room, those are stable units.
Yeah.
The O-line is going to be massive, monstrous O-line. Going to be hopefully healthy this year. Running back room is one and the same. Jeremiah, Jadarian, Aeneas Williams, like Keedron Young. I mean, we have so many guys there. DeBron Payne. That's going to be a stable unit. But talk about like what is it going to take for us to get this thing ramped up to where we are a premier elite offense?
Well, it's sustaining what you've gotten to. The expectations are going to be extremely high. One, because we won multiple major bowl games, but obviously we made it to the championship. So the standard is, through the roof already. Year three of the Marcus Freeman era. And we keep coming back to it, but it's what can we do to sustain that momentum? And you look at those position groups specifically, and Marcus wants to be a run first team. Well, with the O line coming back, it's going to be a more physical, I think, and a more athletic O line. You got guys like Charles Jagasaw coming in. Emil Wagner is going to be stout on that right side. There's going to be some shakeup, but it's where they're going to put these key guys either at the tackle left side or in moving into that guard position. I mean, you have Knapp, who played left tackle all year until the last game, and then they're saying he could potentially move into the guard spot and be even better there. So we're going to be able to move guys around and continue to, get better at that spot.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even realize Emil Wagner, he started every single game this year. That kind of played good, consistent football.
Yep.
So I think you're right. And ramping up the offense, like Jared Parker, they averaged 39 a game, I think it was, or maybe vice versa. Dan Brock was like, one of them was in the 40s. I think it was Jared Parker with Hartman. Obviously, we didn't score a lot of points in the bigger games. That's what kind of hurt us. Clemson, Ohio State, like scored very little points.
Yeah.
But it's amazing to me that we've been able to do this much with such a predictable and honestly like lackluster passing game. If whatever quarterback we hitch this thing to and we're following behind, whatever quarterback it is, if we have some type of offensive power attack, particularly in the passing game, man, it is going to be so fun to watch. And I think we've been like yearning for that for a while because the Notre Dame offense has primarily been O-line and running the football for a little while now, like dating back to like the middle of the Kelly era. So, man, to have somebody come in and sling it around, whether it's Steve, Kenny, or CJ, man, with the wide receiver group too, that's changing. Man, it's going to be cool.
It's going to open it up, and it's just going to ultimately help this offense, which doesn't need much. Only needs a couple certain tweaks here and there to really get the ball rolling. But it's not far off from where we actually want it to be, in my opinion.
That's the scary part of it. Like these teams got to watch out. It's I think Notre Dame has shown, all right, we've arrived. We had a great season, but now what can we do to elevate that offense to just absolutely keep it rolling?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, can't wait to see what happens with that. But I expect them to take a leap forward. With the O line and the running back room in the position and shape that it's in, why can't we start slinging it around a bit?
Yeah.
Especially if we've got the quarterback to do it, who's a little bit more of like a pocket passer. And then also too with the receivers and the athletes that we had and the couple of transfers that we brought in, I think Great House definitely showed like, all right, I can be the number one. I can be featured in an offense. Faison's there. Like we got athletes to spread
Yeah.
it around to.
Yeah, we have, in my opinion, the guys to be able to throw those short intermediate routes to Great House, Faison. We got young kids that we're going to see too. But then we have people like Malachi Fields coming in, who's the deep shot threat. I mean, the dude's 6'5", 220. You could throw it up to him, and he's got hands of gold already. He's going to be in the gold helmet with that. So you gotta let these players make plays, man. You really do.
Yeah, dude. Like we saw it at the end of the year with Great House's 2 games against Ohio State and Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Just let the guys go out and make plays. Like just get them the ball and good things happen.
Yep.
We've seen it with Great House. We've seen it with Faison in the past. Like, dude, I'm pretty fired. So my expectations for the Irish O line and running back offensively next year are going to keep it the same. Now it's just a matter of getting that passing game into the real world of college football to where not only do we have to worry about Notre Dame being tough up front and running the ball, but we got to worry about them getting behind us. Like we need to Will Fuller days. Like take the top off. That's what I expect from them in 2025. Let's open things up for sure offensively.
Yep, I agree for sure.
Defense. What's your like main expectations for defense in 2025?
Oh man, that's a hard question to answer in a short amount of time. But what I think ultimately is, I think I mentioned on the last episode, I really want Chris Ash to just come in and not change too much. Really try to keep that cohesion as much as possible. There's really not much to switch. Our defense can be, but any defense can be better. We got to start getting some dudes up front, adding some more weight up there. But ultimately, just don't change much. I think that's my best answer, because when you start changing things, that's when you start screwing things up. Right?
So number one on my list is keep the identity.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand with what you're saying. Don't switch things up too much. Even though we got a new DC, I think that what Golden and Freeman have established is not necessarily tied to a coach. It's more so this is the type of defensive program we are.
Yeah, it's the structure entire. As
Yeah.
a whole.
The structure is in place to where whatever coaches or players come and go, that's fine. This is Notre Dame's defensive identity. So I think that's on point. We just can't change a whole lot in terms of our outlook on defense. We're going to be down your throat, playing man to man, coming at you all game long. We keep that identity. That's something that I'm going to be really happy to see in 2025.
Yeah, I think we will too. The time that Ash has spent in the league and college specifically dealing with the safeties and the cornerbacks, him and Mike Mickens, that duo could be just really solid going into the season. Those are two masterminds in the backfield that can put something together, I think. So that'll be cool to see.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that has got to be consistent or expected going into 2025 is keep a similar message to not only the defense, but this goes for the whole team. Notre Dame, you can tell now, is playing to win. We're not playing to hold on. We're not playing to not lose. Like defensively, if anything has showed it in the 2024 team, they were playing to win no matter what. sometimes you could maybe like question the offense in that a little bit, but the defense had the same demeanor and attitude every single time they took the field, and that was to play to win. So defensively, we got to keep that. Sometimes I got frustrated last year with how much we were blitzing, but ultimately, like, look at how much success like it brought us. So keep playing to win.
Yep.
Like, you don't change anything about that. Keep playing to win, and you're going to have a very similar defense to what you had.
Right. Well, I think too that's just comes back to the culture that Freeman's built in the past couple of years. I just don't see that going away. It's hard after you've built that to just stop doing that when it's being ingrained by the man up top from top down, right? It starts with him, and that's what he's brought into the team the past couple years, well, since he's gotten there, but specifically the past 2 years, on the defensive side of the ball. But he's a defensive coach. He's got his hands on the defense at all times. So
Yeah,
I just think under the Freeman this whole tenure, our defense is going to be pretty on point year in and year out.
totally. And even when he was the DC under Kelly, like you could see the defense was changing to more of like his philosophies.
Oh yeah, he instantly
Now,
started recruiting length, speed, just bigger, faster, stronger kids. Right when he got there.
totally, dude. And like a major expectation that I have for the defense is that secondary is just going to elevate Christian and Leonard on the outsides. I mean, dude, that's literally lockdown. It we're losing Ben Moe to the draft, and honestly, like Leonard Moore is going to be an absolute superstar. That guy, you saw he was like the third highest graded PFF
Oh yeah,
corner in the country, above
yeah,
Travis Hunter.
yeah. Ben Morrison said he's going to be better than him. So if Ben's already saying that, that's high praise.
So it's super cool to just know and expect that the secondary is going to be just on point.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking the DB or the nickel we got from Alabama, Devontae Smith. Schuler is obviously going to be back in full force. That secondary, man, it's just fun to watch and it's exciting. They're all ball hawks and they all tackle really well. So the expectation for them, obviously the same. Move into a place where we kind of need to get better. Like, I don't think it's any doubt the D line, but we did get a couple transfers from other schools that are coming in to kind of reinforce what we're losing in terms of Howard Cross, Riley Mills. So we picked up the guy from USC, and then who else did we pick up?
It was the D tackle from Louisville. Forget his name.
Louisville.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big boy though.
Yep. Both big boys. And the USC one is interesting because he has a couple years of eligibility left.
I saw that. Yeah.
So it's not just we're going after grad transfers with 1 year left. I don't know if this is like softening up the portal stuff for us, but to take a guy with 2 years, it kind of reminds me of when Amir Carlisle did that. He came from USC as well. He had multiple years of eligibility. So, D line, I think we've showed like Junior Tuialamaka is going to be back. Obviously, Booba Traore, Burnham.
Patelho's coming back.
Botelho. You've got Heinisch. Like, he'll be back too. Like,
yep, we're gonna have what's that dude's name? Sean Civigliano. He'll be getting more reps.
Yep.
There was another Devin Houston. That's who I'm thinking of. Devin Houston. He's gonna be a big body. He'll I think he'll get his chance here in the spring to show himself and prove himself. So we got guys that'll come in and fill some key roles.
Yeah. And then, ultimately, like, overall outlook, like, overall expectation. When you go on the type of run that we had, expectations are reset. Like, coming into this year, it was like playoff or bust.
Yep.
Now that we and Freeman have shown, like, okay, this is what we did, rattled off 14 in a row.
Yeah.
ran through a home playoff, sugar, orange, and then got to a title.
Yep.
The expectation is going to be playoff or bust. That's just what it is now. Like,
Right.
and if we want to be elite, like Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Oregon, like all those teams that are kind of in that elite category now, it is playoff or bust. Like those are the expectations.
Yeah, you can't have a season like we did and not make the playoffs. You can't pull I don't even want to say their name. A lot of people know. The team that did it last year, they fell off. We're not trying to do that. You don't fall off if you're elite. It just doesn't happen.
And isn't it too like, I don't know, dude. We've been wanting to be elite for so long. We got everything that we got last year, we earned it. We deserved it. But now it's like there's going to be this whole, I don't know, extrinsic, intrinsic pressure from the outside, from the inside to maintain what we're doing. And I think like just having a season like that, I have so much more respect for these other programs that do it year in and year out because of we just saw how much it took and how hard that was. So to keep doing it, it's going to be a great challenge. And I just, I hope that the guys kind of view it that way too. Like it's going to be hard, but we can do it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we're gonna do it again for sure. There's no doubt. I'm excited for the new facility going up too. Like that's something to look forward to. That's like its own entity now. It's literally for the football team, and it's going to be state of the art from what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And then as soon as we can start taking recruits to that, like, man. So,
God.
yeah, I mean, expectations for 2025, that's it. Like, we got to maintain. We kind of crept into that, like, borderline elite category. You go make the playoff again and make a game or two run, maybe 3, get to where you're solidifying yourself at that point. So, expectations for 2025 are high. Like you're coming off one of the best seasons you've had in over 30 plus years. With that is going to come pressure and expectations, but man, what better guy to lead it than Marcus? Like it's going to be a fun off season, ramping into the season again.
Yeah,
and it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun watching this unfold this spring.
Sure is. We got a lot of time left though, but spring's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see certain position battles, especially QB. Everybody's talking about the QB, and everybody will be talking about them until they're announced. Whoever's announced that starter, everybody's going to be talking about it about every day. So
right, yeah, no, that's going to be a hot topic.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, expectations 2025, good overlay, offense, defense, overall outlook. So again, this is the Irish Football Pod. We're bringing you this stuff, hot takes, hot topics, everything that involves Notre Dame football. We'll be bringing it to you. Connor, appreciate it as always. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. Like, let's get this chat going. Hit us up on X. Let's get that going as well. We really appreciate the time and you guys checking us out. And that's another episode of the Irish Football Pod. Appreciate it, everybody.
go Irish.
As always, go Irish.